What is up? Gear Squad, Chain Gear here, bringing another video. And today I wanted to very quickly get this video out before the next press conference. Guys, you gotta know that the Xbox press conference for E3 2019 literally just ended no more than maybe 20 minutes ago. And I wanted to go ahead, while it's fresh off my mind, talk to you guys about what I just saw at the press conference. Now, I was not there in person. I'm going to be on the show floor next week. This is the weekend right now. It's Sunday. And like I said, the E3 2019 Xbox Microsoft press conference just ended. So we're just going to go ahead and talk through some of these points. The video is not going to be quick, but of course I wanted to go ahead and quickly get this information out there. Now, when I get back home, so not next week, not the week after, but probably the end of June, we are going to go ahead and do a live stream kind of recapping all the things I saw at E3. We're going to show some pictures. We're going to talk about trailers. It's going to be fire. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure that you guys find me on Twitch. Of course, a link is in the description down below, but let's go ahead and chat about Xbox. And I want to know about what you guys thought about the Xbox press conference down in the comment section below. And if you didn't watch it, let me know what you guys think about the stuff that I found interesting. Now, before we talk about my favorite parts, we're just going to quickly go over some of the other things that I don't really want to go over because it's just not stuff I'm super interested in. But if you guys are interested, let me know in the comment section below and maybe we can talk about it during the live stream. So some of the stuff I'm going to skip is Ori 2, Will of the Wisps, though that game looks awesome. I haven't even played the first game, so not something that I'm going to dive too deep into. Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order, that game looks great, but we've already talked about it a little bit before, and I'm going to be talking about it a lot more because it's not an Xbox specific game, and I've seen footage of this already. So that's a game that looks awesome, but there's nothing really to add. There's a new Blair Witch game, which is a horror game. If you guys haven't heard of the Blair Witch Project, it's an old cult classic movie. It's a horror movie, and so now they're making a scary game. I'm excited to see what it's about, but I'm not a huge fan of horror games, so we'll just see kind of how it goes. There's a couple of indie games like Spiritfarer, a new game, new Battletoads game was announced. So if you guys are old enough to know Battletoads, this is a really big deal for a lot of people. I'm not really a big fan of Battletoads, so it is what it is. But again, that game was announced. A game called The Legend of Wright, which is a pencil-drawn style RPG. That looks kind of cool. That came out. A big announcement that they made was Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, you guys might not know this, but there is a big nerdy cult group of people that play Microsoft Flight Simulator. And it's an old Flight Simulator game. Well, they've completely remade it. So there's a brand new Flight Simulator. I'm sure it's going to be on PC, but it might be on or Xbox as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, that can be very exciting for a lot of people. So ID at Xbox, which is indie games basically at Xbox. ID stands for Independent Developers. Basically, they mentioned that basically every single ID at Xbox game is going to be on Xbox Game Pass, which we are going to talk about in depth. Age of Empires 2 is remastered. There's a Wasteland 3 game. Lego Star Wars is getting a new edition. It's called the Skywalker Saga. So after the new movie, the last movie for the Skywalker legacy or the Skywalker Saga, that is going to have all of the Skywalker games into one, and that's going to go ahead and be a new Lego Star Wars game. So that's a thing. There was a huge announcement, but again, I'm not going to dive too deep into it, and that is that Double Fine, which is the studio behind Psychonauts, is now joining Xbox Game Studios. So it's another studio that's joining Xbox as an exclusive game studio. So that's crazy. They had a Dying Light 2 trailer. Forza Horizon 4 is getting a huge Lego expansion called Lego Speed Champions. That actually looked really, really cool. If it's on Xbox Game Pass, I might actually try it. And again, we'll talk about Xbox Game Pass in just a little bit. They had announced a mobile game for Gears, and then they announced a new DLC for State of Decay 2 called Heartland, and that's coming out, I think, actually today. So lots of announcements that were pretty cool, but none of those announcements I was like super, super excited about. Maybe Forza Horizon 4, the whole Lego thing looked really cool, but I wasn't like super pumped about it. What I was super pumped about, let's jump into it, is one, the Outer Worlds October 25th is when that's coming out. It is Obsidian Entertainment's newest RPG, and it looks just like Fallout Fallout New Vegas, which is the Fallout before Fallout 4. So it looked awesome. I just wanted to see more footage of it, and I got to see more footage of it. This game was announced a while back, but this was like a really big deal for me to see more of that content, so that was big. A bigger announcement was that Ninja Theory, who Xbox recently bought or acquired as a first-party studio. Ninja Theory, the guys behind Heavenly Sword, DMC Devil May Cry, not the newest one, but the one before that, Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade. These guys have a brand new game coming out called Bleeding Edge, which is 4v4, mostly melee combat. There's an alpha coming out in June 27th for both Xbox and Windows. We don't know if it's going to come out for anything else. I assume not, because it is a Ninja Theory, and it is now owned by Xbox. So I'm assuming it is Windows and Xbox exclusive. So we'll see. This one's huge, I think, for everyone, and we'll see if this is just Xbox only or if this is for everyone. It's called Minecraft Dungeons. It's coming out spring 2020. It's a 4-player co-op on or offline game, so you can get a whole bunch of friends on your couch and you guys can play this game. It's basically a dungeon crawler with Minecraft. I love dungeon crawler games. I think they're a lot of fun. Diablo is one of my favorites. They feel really good. They're a fun way to just get, really powerful, really fast, and just have a lot of fun. And so I'm really excited for a Minecraft version. This might be a lot of people's first game into the dungeon crawling setting. So I'd love to play some Minecraft Dungeons, and then my friends are like, oh, this is kind of cool. They might go ahead and join me in Diablo. So I'm excited for this. I like Minecraft, but I always thought its combat was boring. And so now they have a dungeon crawling game. I'm definitely going to be playing it. Then they showed us something that I'm sure everybody was excited about, which is CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077. They showed some more dope story where the main character actually died, which was crazy. But then he wakes up and he's greeted by Keanu Reeves. Yes, I'm talking about the Matrix Keanu Reeves, or of course, the new John Wick Keanu Reeves, which was crazy. We also got a release date for the game, which is, January, February, March, April 2020. I think it's April 16th, 2020. So that's crazy. We have the release date. I'm super excited for Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to be playing that game like crazy. It looks awesome. And the fact that Keanu Reeves in it was just so random, but it was pretty dope. The next thing was Xbox Game Pass. So the way that Xbox Game Pass works is basically you pay, I think $10 a month or something like that, and you just have access to tons of games. And this was only for Xbox. But now they've added some more third-party games, and it's now on PC again for $10. So if you are on PC, you get a curated amount of about 100 plus games. They said it was very close to around 100 games, and you can get all of those games for $10 a month, which is pretty cool. So that rounds out to $120 a year, which is the price of about 2 games. So, if you're not really into buying like a new game every, like a lot of new games, if you buy more than 4 games, right, a year, this might be justified to go ahead and get this. They also have an Ultimate Game Pass, which has Game Pass for console, Game Pass for PC, and Game Pass, or basically Xbox Live Gold Edition. And you can get it right now for $1, and I'm assuming that's for a month, right? And then you're probably gonna have to pay $15 a month to have the ultimate version. Now, if you're just on PCs, like me, for example, I've got my PlayStation 4 and I've got my PC, so I'll probably just get the Xbox, Game Pass for PC, and we'll see what's in that. It's got some good games in it, man. It's got Metro Exodus, which I really wanted to play, but I didn't really want to pay a lot of money for it. So I'm probably not going to buy it anytime soon. I've got a lot of games on my PlayStation 4 that I want to beat, that I've already bought. So, I want to go ahead and play those games first. But if I ever get finally through those games, Xbox Game Pass could be a real game changer for me. We'll just have to wait and see. Next is Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball. I don't know exactly if it's Dragon Ball Z or not. And it's a new RPG called Kakarot. Dragon Ball Z. I think it's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So this is crazy. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. This is a Dragon Ball RPG, and it's an action RPG. I mean, it looked like I don't know, it looked like something that Platinum could have made, where it's, intense action, not just a fighting game, but with like RPG elements, and you're going through the story of Kakarot, which is Goku. So that really looked hype to me. I don't think I actually got the release date if that was out, but I definitely am excited for that. I love Dragon Ball. I've been watching Dragon Ball Super recently. I only watched it in English. They only showed Japanese voice acting, so we'll see. I'm assuming they'll come out with an English version. It's super popular here in the West. So we'll have to wait and see. The next game was brand new. No one had ever heard of this. It's called 12 Minutes. It's a game where this guy has been reliving the same 12 minutes over and over again in his life. And it's basically him, his wife, and like what seems like maybe like a serial killer or something like that, or some guy that wants to kill his wife. And he's basically like, it starts off with the wife like giving him a gift, and the gift is basically, I can't remember what it was, but basically she says she's pregnant and he already knows, and she's like, how do you know? He's like, because I've already lived through this. And it looks like he just lives through this 12 minutes, and it's an interactive experience. So it looks like a game that kind of more like a TV show or a movie that you can control specific parts of it. But it looked dope, dude. It looked dope. I love that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. There was a new Xbox Elite controller. I actually put this on here because I love controllers. I don't have it with me, but I have many controllers, and when there's a custom one, it always looks cool to me. I always want to buy one. It's a lot of money, but Xbox Elite controller was really, really cool. I own one. So the fact that there's a new one, I might get it. We'll have to wait and see. It doesn't work on my PlayStation 4, unfortunately, but it does work on my PC. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm a sucker for controllers, man. They showed Gears 5, and there's a lot of information about Gears 5. First of all, Gears 5 is coming out September 10th. So if you're interested in Gears, it's coming out September 10th. It's coming out with Game Pass. And this is one of those things where I'm like, well, in September, maybe I'll get Game Pass and just play this game for like a month or so. But there's a lot of other games. So, we'll see. Likely not, because I've got Shadowkeep to play, Destiny, but we'll see. They have a new game mode called Escape, which is like Horde mode, but instead of defending, you're on the offense and you're going like towards, the enemies, and you're going to go blow them up instead of, defending against the enemies coming to you, which is kind of cool. There's also a random Terminator DLC, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. There's this cute indie game called Way to the Woods. Very cute. It was a deer and it's fowl, right? I think that's what you call baby deer. No, a doe. That's what you call a doe, a deer. No, a doe is a female deer. So I think it is a fowl. I think a fowl is a baby deer. Or maybe that's a duck. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a deer and a baby deer, and basically this deer has like glowing antlers that I guess can proc electricity. And it was just it seemed like it was trying to get somewhere and lead its baby deer, its baby, I assume, to somewhere, and I'm assuming to the woods. But it looked cool. It looked like it was in like a post-apocalyptic world. I like games like that. I haven't played one in a while, but it looked cool enough for me to mention it. Now there was another really big announcement. Phantasy Star Online 2. If you have never played Phantasy Star, this game is old. This game is like, I think I played it on GameCube like a long time ago. And you had to have like a weird internet extension thing on your GameCube to even play it. But Phantasy Star was one of my favorite games back in the day. It is a classic like MMO that's action based. So it was one of the first action MMOs I had ever played. And there is now a second one, and it's free to play. It's got cross play, and it's coming at least to Xbox 2020. We don't know when in 2020, but we know that it comes first to Xbox. I want to make that clear. It comes first to Xbox, which is cool, because that means I can see the footage on Xbox. I can play it on my PC maybe, and then go ahead and jump in on PS4 like all in. I love Phantasy Star. I don't know if I'm going to love Phantasy Star now. Like I know I did in the past, but we'll see if I continue to like it. I'm really excited about it though. We'll just have to wait and see what the gameplay is going to be like, because I'm definitely hyped to see. There's a new game called Crossfire X. I've never heard of this, but it looked like a Battlefield style game. I really don't know what it's about. It looked like just a Battlefield kind of shooter game. Again, first to console on Xbox in 2020. We'll see, but it did look interesting, and it was brand new, so I had to go ahead and throw that out there. There's another game, a brand new Tales game called Tales of Arise, coming out in 2020, and it looked a lot more like an action game than the other Tales games have. If you're a fan of RPGs, you probably know the Tales of games, and so Tales of Arise looks really good, but honestly, I don't trust the Tales series anymore. They've been running that formula into the ground. So if there is a new Tales game that is honestly different and the combat is different, I will play it. But if this Tales game is just the same thing over and over again, I'm not about it. There was a new trailer for Borderlands 3, and they announced that Borderlands 2 now has a DLC that's out to explain what's happening in Borderlands 3. So I'm definitely going to play that. The Handsome Jack collection is free, like, for everybody. It was free for PlayStation Plus users. I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass, so it's basically everywhere. The game's looking badass as ever, so definitely a game that I'm excited about, and I'm definitely going to be playing Borderlands 2. Maybe I'll stream it or something like that, but I'm definitely going to play Borderlands 2 to get to that DLC and do that. And I played Borderlands 2 on the PlayStation 3. So we'll see how it runs on PS4 and all that good stuff. A brand new game, and this is one of the last games we're going to talk about, is called Elden Ring. And it's by the creators, it's from Software, so the guys that made Dark Souls, the guys that made Demon Souls, the guys that made Bloodborne, the guys that made Sekiro, and it's made by the creator of Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin. So very, very interesting. There's no gameplay. It just showed a lot of in-engine, like, cutscene kind of stuff. It looked very cool. It looked very like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, but had that aesthetic of course, you know, Dark Souls. So I'm really interested. I don't really love the Dark Souls formula. I don't love really brutal combat where, you know, you can get hit once and you die. Like, I don't love it. But honestly, I might jump into this. I thought about jumping into Sekiro, but again, it's that whole thing of just people dying over and over again. It's just not fun to me. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited to learn more. And then we're getting into the actual console stuff. So two things. One, they talked about Project xCloud, which is like soft launching in October for Xbox users. So apparently Xbox users can use their Xbox as a server to access xCloud. Now, what that sounds like to me is like SharePlay or whatever that's called. It's like PlayStation, like whatever PlayStation's thing is, where you can, like, you know, play my PlayStation on my laptop. Like, there's already a thing out there like that. Nobody really uses it though. It sounds like xCloud is the same thing to me, but just like branded differently. I don't know if PlayStation's going to try and like rebrand their, like, whatever it's called. It's not SharePlay, but it's like remote play. So I don't know if I don't really know what's up with that. I don't really care, to be honest. It's not like Google Stadia necessarily, but it seems like it seems like you can access your Xbox from anywhere, which is the same thing as PlayStation's remote play. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited about it for sure. But, you know, I mean, just because I like the technology and I like it's moving forward, but more importantly, I think what everybody's really excited for is Project Scarlett, the new Xbox. That's coming out holiday 2020. So they have a release date or a release window for holiday 2020. And holiday means Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, maybe January, but mostly like November, December time, which is pretty dope. Usually around November because people are buying it Black Friday. And they mentioned a couple figures: 8K graphics, 120 frames per second, so double what we have right now. A brand new SSD, which is a really big deal. And of course, they're flexing these loading times. They're like, yeah, the loading times are just gone. We don't have loading times anymore. We actually use it like RAM. It's really incredible. And as for the RAM, they said they have GDDR6 RAM. And so basically all that means is that it's going to look flyer than ever. It's going to run smoother than ever. And we're not going to have load time. So that's really cool. We'll see. I don't really know how this is going to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see. They're not mentioning hard drives. They're mentioning SSDs. And so I wonder if that means really the games are going to be on the SSD. And if that's true, you know, we're talking about like SSDs are expensive. So I just don't know what that means yet. I don't know if people are going to be selling. I don't know if Xbox and PlayStation are going to be selling their consoles at a loss, or if they're expecting us to pay a lot of money for these things. Like, I just don't know yet. And maybe they're making them expensive so we do more cloud gaming, like I just have no idea. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what's going on. It sounds very similar to the PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 said the same thing. They were like, yeah, 8K graphics, and they might have said 6K or something like that, but they were like, yeah, 8K graphics, you know, crazy frame rates and those loading times, you know. So like we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We have a whole another year after this year to learn more about the consoles. And then the last thing they showed was Halo Infinite. And Halo Infinite is launching with Project Scarlett, so holiday 2020. The game looked crisp. It didn't seem like gameplay. I think it's in-engine footage though. They were flexing a lot about how they can make these new worlds, these new open, seamless worlds, and how Halo is going to be like at the pinnacle of that. So like we'll see. Again, there's a lot of stuff that we'll see. Like we gotta wait. There's nothing really about. There's Gears 5 is probably the only game they mentioned. Cyberpunk 2077. There's really nothing else that's like coming out this year. So it's really all about 2020. It's really all about. We'll get another E3 before the launch of Project Scarlett. And so next year is going to be the year where we're going to learn everything about this. So hype. Very, very cool. This was a whole 20-minute video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, we're going to stream, talk about this stuff. Let me know what your thoughts were in the comment section down below. You've got time to watch this and get ready for the next press conference, or if you watch this later, whatever works, guys. But I want to talk to you guys in the comment section. I'm going to have my laptop open. I want to talk to you guys in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll talk to you guys online, of course. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.